Hello, this is Anna Pacheco with SantaFe101.com, and my guest today is Kathy Segura, and she is with ReMax Real Estate, and she's going to tell us all about real estate in Quay County and some of the neighboring counties. Hope to learn a lot because some of these counties have been hard to get to, and so I'm looking forward to this interview. Kathy, do I have your permission to record this interview?
Yes, you do.
Oh, great. So you were saying before I hit the record button that you were actually born in Tucumcari.
I was.
Oh, so tell, and do you live there now? Is that where you live?
No, I live in Clovis now.
You're in Clovis now. So tell me a little bit about Tucumcari. The only thing I remember years ago when I used to drive cross country in Oklahoma, I'd start seeing these billboards, Tucumcari tonight. I just see these great ads. And then I remember from years ago in my publishing career, all the information about Route 66 and what the strong presence that of Route 66 even today in Tucumcari. So tell me a little bit about Tucumcari and real estate there, and then we'll go into some of the other counties that you also work in.
Okay. Tucumcari right now is a very small town. It's population about 4,000. Growing up, it was 19, 20,000 at times. I've seen it go all the way to the top, all the way to the bottom 3 times. And when I-40 went past Tucumcari, it just was horrible.
It bypassed Tucumcari, right?
And a lot of things went down. But Tucumcari is primarily hotels, motels, and restaurants, because it's right on Route 66. But there are a lot of people that have come in, have bought these old motels, have redone the restaurants. And so they are trying to get Tucumcari Boulevard, which is old Route 66, right through the middle of town, and they are rejuvenating. It's amazing. It's awesome.
And also, Tucumcari is the county seat for Quay. Is that correct?
Correct.
So you have a courthouse and all the other things that you need to be as a county seat.
Right. Their real estate over there is right now it's amazing because we have a lot of people moving in from out of state. But over the last 5 years, real estate has there in Tucumcari itself has dropped probably 10%. But then you go out, which, Logan, which is Ute Lake, is also in Quay County. And anything around the lake is always busy. Somebody's always wanting a property at the lake.
And so you're saying that a lot of people are moving in from out of state. Where are you primarily seeing people coming in from?
California and Arizona.
And is it well, I'm assuming it's like everybody else is saying, it's because of the pandemic, it's because of the weather, and those are the driving factors that are getting people out to New Mexico these days? Is that
and the cost of living, a really, really nice home, average here is $100 to $110 a square foot. In Tucumcari, you can buy a really, really nice home for below $75 a square.
And so what you're saying, like for 75,000, you can get a really nice house? Or I mean, how much, not the square footage, but the actual end price? What would that be? What would the average price be in Tucumcari?
About 90.
About 90,000. And that would get you what, 1,700 square feet, or what would that get you?
3-bedroom. I just sold one, 3-bedroom, 2-bath brick home, up in the newer part of town. And it 94.5.
94.5. And in terms of architecture, is it primarily brick, or is it frame, or do you have any adobe?
We don't have any adobe. I mean, some older homes. My great grandparents homesteaded there, and their old adobe house where my mom was born is right in the middle of town. And there's right in that area, there's a few older adobe homes, but as far as having like Santa Fe, there's adobe houses everywhere, but Tucumcari, there's maybe 10 or 12.
And why is that? Did just something happen as the turn of the 20th century, people just figured out it not to do adobe, or what? Why is that, do you think?
And I don't know whether you know about it, and this goes way back, when Montgomery Ward's and Sears sold homes. You could buy a home off out of the catalog, and they would bring it to you in pieces and put it together. And we have Montgomery Ward homes, we have Sears homes that are actually still standing in good shape, and people live in them.
Wow. And so those are all frame houses, or are those brick? Or?
Uh-huh. They're like a ready built, except, instead of assembling them at the factory, they would make the pieces, and then when they got to where they needed to be, they would frame them up.
And so the people that would the companies actually bring the people out here to put it to assemble it? Oh, that's a nice. And so what did those houses cost back then?
Oh, I think they said they were like $3,500.
And this would have been when, in the 1950s, 40s?
Probably in the late 30s, early 40s.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And those houses are still standing.
They are still standing.
Well, Montgomery Ward isn't, and neither is Sears. Look at that. Look at that.
Oh,
Their houses are still around, but they aren't. And what if somebody were to put one of those houses on the market right now, what could they get for it?
Well, some of them, were just the basic, hey, we're going to buy a house, it's going to be our own. But some of them are really, really nice. I mean, bigger homes. And we found one that sold last year, and it was a big 2-story house. And, the people had done some upgrades to it, and it brought $150,000.
Wow.
Yeah. But we found the label inside one of the closets that had the specs on it from the company.
I like that.
And so it was really cool. It was.
Well, you're my first interview for the 33 counties that's ever told me anything about these types of homes. But I have heard, I think even here in Santa Fe, I know they have them in San Diego. I think they were called Craftsman Homes or something, that company. They were kind of like ready-made homes as well. And I think we have a couple of them here in Santa Fe. So you were mentioning in Tucumcari that the newer part of Tucumcari, are there newer neighborhoods? Like how old are that newer houses?
The 50s.
So the newer part of Tucumcari, those houses are about 70 years old.
Right. There is one subdivision that was started in probably the late 90s, but nothing since.
And there's are these houses like on regular like suburban blocks where you have a neighbor like just a few feet away, 100 feet away, that type of thing, little front yard, little backyard?
Yeah, just a regular subdivision. And but it's just, Tucumcari is just a small little rural farm town. It's what it is.
It's an art town?
Farm.
Oh, farm town. Okay.
Like farming.
Farming. Okay. And then what about so you're talking about the lake, Ute Lake, people are moving out there. What is that like?
Logan is a very, very small little town. They have maybe 4 restaurants and 4 motels. And you go out towards the lake and a lot of mobile homes. People just want to have their own place at the lake so they can go out there. And of course, the last couple of years we've sold, or last year especially, we sold a lot out there because you couldn't camp. Everybody was looking for a place to camp, and the state was closed. So, but yeah, they don't care what the house looks like, as if there's a barn for the boat and room for the kids to play.
And so what is so you're basically selling property out there, or are there ready-made homes? Are there spec homes out there where people can buy a house?
Mostly manufactured.
And so what is the land cost out there?
Depends on how close you want to go to the lake. The closer to the water, the more it costs.
Okay,
an acre of land, just regular land, that's within a mile of the lake, it's about $25,000 an acre.
Wow, that's up there.
Yeah, but closer to the lake, when you get down on the water, you're talking $100,000 to $200,000 an acre.
Wow. And do you have a lot of those people that have bought property that close to the lake?
Anytime anything comes available, it's usually gone within about 48 hours.
Excellent. Well, that's good to know. And those expensive properties, real right, basically on the lake. Do they already have homes on them, or is there still raw land that people could develop that close to the lake?
No.
Okay. So what type of homes are around there?
Well, there are no covenants, so it's whatever they want to put.
Whatever.
There is a $1 million mansion that's out right on the water, and then right next to it are double wides.
Okay. Okay.
So it just depends on, and they're nice. I mean, they're nice homes, but there's a lot of double wides out there. And yeah, I sold a double wide that had, and it was nice, but it was about 500 yards to the water, and it brought $275,000, which is high for that area. So
But
you just don't
it's a
know.
bargain. It's a bargain listening to you from Santa Fe, and it's definitely a bargain for somebody who might be watching this interview from California. It's definitely a bargain.
Exactly.
So there's
Exactly.
Tucumcari, there's Logan. What are some of the other communities in Quay County that you have worked in that might be of interest to people that are watching this?
Quay County consists of Logan, San Juan, and Tucumcari.
Okay.
So that's it.
Okay.
And San Juan is a post office and a truck stop. It's right on Old 66. You can get off, and the truck stop on each side of the highway, and that's it. There's nothing else left out there.
But are there farms out there?
Oh, and there's a school. There is a school.
Okay.
But it's a lot of farms out there. A lot of people live in the surrounding area. There's just the town of San Juan is just almost non-existent.
Okay, so then so where do people have to go, like for medical care? I mean, like does Tucumcari have a hospital, or what do people do?
Tucumcari does have a hospital. It's not a full facility hospital. So anybody wants to have a baby, or they have to have surgery, or they have an emergency, they either, if the time allows, they drive to Clovis. If not, they air back them to Amarillo.
Amarillo. How far are you from Amarillo?
100 miles.
100 miles. Okay, not bad. So then you also represent other counties not far from you. And tell me a little bit about Curry County, where you live now, or tell me a little bit about some of the other counties where you actually sell real estate.
Okay, well, we'll just go around the big circle. So
Okay.
From Quay County, I also work San Miguel County, which is Conchas Dam, and Las Vegas. And this year, the properties at Conchas Dam have just been out the roof. Everybody wants to move to the lake. I think a lot of it has been the pandemic. Most of the people have said, I'm working from home. My kids are going to school from home. Why shouldn't we be at the lake? There's good internet out there. And so they're buying homes, and not cheap homes. I mean, they're over $100,000, and predominantly manufactured homes.
And so they're would you get like a 3-bedroom manufactured home out there?
Yeah, I mean, there's some nice homes out there. And, of course, the south side, part of the lake belongs to the Corps of Engineers. Part of it belongs to the state. So you can go on one side of the lake and put your boat in the water, and the other side of the lake you can't. It's all the same lake, but, you can launch on the Corps side, but you can't launch on the state side.
And then in terms of what would an acre of land, or what does land cost around that area?
I sold an acre that was right on the water, and it was $52,000.
Okay.
It was a little over an acre, but right on the water.
Okay. Do you
But
sell?
then right around the corner, another lot, and just a regular residential lot, and it brought $8,000.
Okay.
So.
And so that's up at the dam. What about do you in San Miguel County? That's Las Vegas is part of San Miguel. Do you sell any properties in the town of Las Vegas?
No.
Okay. Then so let's go the circle. Then tell me where else you're selling.
Okay, from there we'll go to Santa Rosa, which is Guadalupe County.
Right.
And there is not a real estate office in Santa Rosa per se. Very seldom does property change hands over there. A lot of it is family. and they'll just sell it to their kids or give it to their kids or sell it to the neighbor. Um, and I've talked to several people over there, and they said that they had a real estate office over there, and it lasted about 6 months because no one would list their house. What I have done over there has been, I've had several REOs, and so I'm over there all the time, and I know the area. But as far as having a real estate listing in that area, it's just non-existent. It's just not there.
So people don't move into Santa Rosa? Aren't there like new housing developments, or doesn't anybody want to move to Santa Rosa?
No,
I wonder
not
why.
really. I don't know. When you go out of Santa Rosa, there's an area that you kind of go down in a valley, and it's beautiful. It's like driving into Santa Fe, and most people don't know anything about it. And there are some newer homes down in there, but as the town of Santa Rosa, I have never seen a new home being built.
In that area, that beautiful area, what's it called? Or is it just part of Santa City, the town?
It's just part of the town. It's just kind of hidden treasure is what it is.
Maybe that should be the name.
Yeah, maybe so. I don't know.
And so you were saying, so I know, so what is you say you sell a lot of REOs down in Santa Rosa. What does REO stand for?
Well, it's a repossession.
Okay.
When the bank takes the property back from the consumer, and they get all their paperwork done, and then they turn around and sell the house to try to recoup.
Okay. And so you were saying before I started the record button on this interview that about 70% of your business is in REOs. Is that correct?
Yes.
And so
yes.
are you seeing a lot of that now? Are there more people that are unable to pay for their homes, and it's going back to the bank, or what are you seeing?
Well, it's not real predominant right now because they've got that hold on it.
Right.
And so after this is over, they're telling people, we're not going to repossess your home. You're safe. We'll help you out, whatever. So we'll see what happens after this is over and it comes back, because I know there are a lot of people that have not been able to pay their mortgage.
Right. And so generally, like when you have a repossessed home, I mean, what if somebody's watching this, is that like a real value? Can you buy something a lot less expensively if the bank has turned it over to you? I mean, what does that entail?
It depends on the property, because if it's a really nice property, it will bring pretty close to what it would retail for normally.
Okay.
But some of them, people are mad when they move out. They don't care. There's holes in the walls. And so, yeah, these investors are going in and they watch really close. And the investors go in, buy them for, pennies on the dollar, and flip them and turn around and get market value for them. So it just depends on the property.
And so what is it? Does an investor have to like work through you, or they can go directly to the bank, or are these repossessed homes, are they recorded at the courthouse? I mean, how does the investor do the detective work to do this?
We have companies that we work for. There's 4 of us that do them here in Curry County. Mm-hmm. And the asset managers just call us. We go do all the initial pictures and clean outs and all that, and then we list them. We put them in MLS.
And that's how people can find them.
Right. They have to go through us.
Okay. So what are some of we're getting close to the end of the interview. Talk about a little bit of some of the other activity that you're working with in terms of the circle of the counties that you are currently active in.
Okay. Well, then we'll go down the road to Debaca County. Have a couple of listings in Fort Sumner.
Right.
And Fort Sumner is, it's just a little town. And of course, there's a lake there also. But it's just a really small little town, village, but very clean, very nice. A lot of people want to move there and retire because it is so laid back. And, but it's kind of the same thing. There's very little new construction. It's just the homes that are there. And, people are wanting to get away. I mean, they want out.
Right.
Okay. So then we'll go to Roosevelt County, and which is part of our association. We have the Clovis Portales Association of Realtors.
Mhm.
And Roosevelt County Portales is the largest town in Roosevelt County. There's a whole lot of little bitty towns, but that is the county seat. Property there is pretty close to Clovis because it's 15 miles from the special ops base from Cannon Air Force Base, and then of course Clovis is 7 miles. So that we have a lot of military that moved to Portales because it's a little bit smaller town, and so the price of homes is pretty comparable.
And
You
so
can
what is
buy
the
a little
price? What would the price be of, medium price of a home then?
150, 175.
Okay,
Yeah. And that's for a 1,500-1,600 square foot house, 3 bedroom, 2 baths.
okay.
Most of Portales is in the flood zone, so you have to be really careful, because probably 75% of the town is flood zone, and so we have to watch that really close.
Well, thank God we're always in a drought.
Oh, when it rains there, Eastern New Mexico University is there. And when
Uh-huh.
it rains there, the university is up on the hill, and the kids will get their kayaks and canoes out, and will ride it down 18th Street. I mean, the water gets that high.
So what do people do if 75% of the town of Portales is in a flood zone? What do homeowners do?
Buy flood insurance. Most of it's built up.
Uh-huh.
I mean, they have to build the lots up. And the street that the water is so high is a lot lower than anywhere else because it does fill up so fast. But you literally can kayak down the street from the college.
But
when
those
right.
floods are probably rare, aren't they? I mean, I watch the weather
Here.
every night and I don't hear about flooding in Portales.
No, probably the last was probably 3 years ago.
Okay, so that's not, it's not like it's every season, every
Oh,
spring or
no,
something. Okay.
no. We
Okay.
live in the desert. Come on.
Well,
We're in the
I wanted to ask you, and so and so in this circle, you live in Clovis. What's it like in Clovis?
Clovis is very busy right now. I mean, 7 days on the market is a lot.
Mm-hmm.
We have a lot of people moving in, but we have a lot of military moving out. And so our rate of turnaround is sometimes just 2 years. It depends on how long the military, how long they stay here. And so we had a big influx from Florida 2 years ago, and they are in the process of sending them all back to Florida. But they bring in, there's 2 more platoons coming in before the end of the summer. So our inventory is way down. We normally have between, and I know for Santa Fe, this is nothing, but we normally have between 400 and 500 properties on the market. Right now we have 120.
Right. And then what is the median cost of a home in Clovis? It would be about 175, same as Portales.
Mm-hmm.
Is there new construction going on in either of the towns right now?
Both.
There is. Well, that's good.
Yeah, we have a lot of new construction going in. There are 3 new subdivisions right now.
In Clovis or Portales or both, or in between?
There's 2 in Clovis and 1 in Portales.
Well,
and so they're building, they're building all the time, which is good.
And you can get probably under 200,000. You can get a really nice brand new home then, right?
Exactly.
Well, that sounds like a bargain. We're definitely out of time on this interview now, but let's just complete the circle. Where else are you selling these days?
Well, I think that got us.
Okay, well, that's good.
Yeah, we started Tucum Carry, so it's we're done. We made the circle. That's a big circle when you have to drive it a couple of times a week.
Wow, but you're busy.
Yes, have been busy. Have been very blessed.
Oh, good. Well, I want to thank you for your time now. And I'll be sure that your information is in all the counties you service because you're out there doing all this. Great for you. And of course, all your contact details. Is there anything you want to end with, any words of wisdom that might help somebody who might be thinking about your area to come live in New Mexico?
Oh, wow. Well, New Mexico has been home all my life.
Mm-hmm.
We we moved to Texas for a couple of years and came home. But New Mexico is definitely the land of enchantment.
Right.
If you don't like where you're at, drive 100 miles and you'll be in a whole totally different world. And so, yeah, New Mexico is a good place to be. It's a good family oriented state. I mean, it's, if you want to bring your family here and have a nice, wholesome atmosphere, and New Mexico is home.
It's the place to do it. Well, good. Again, I want to thank you, and we'll stay in touch. How's that?
All right, sounds good. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Kathy.